Hi there. I'm Dr. Terry James Gingrass, and this is Dr. G's ADHD Chat show trying to make the world safe for ADHDers. I'm a clinical psychologist. I have been treating ADHD for since at least 1980 something, and we also I have a couple of kids that are ADHD, and a whole family of in-laws that have had a lot of problems with ADHD. Well, some of them had problems, some of them had worked out fine. Now, recently, I spent a week with my in-laws, which sometimes, they're your in-laws, but it was actually a pretty good time, and well, it was celebrating my wife's 20 years being cancer-free, which was a biggie. But most everybody came. We had one relative who was too sick to come, but that's okay. But what people sometimes don't realize is that psychologists are never off duty. We are always observing, evaluating, thinking about what we're seeing. It's good practice, keeps you sharp, and it's also just one of the hazards of the job. Where there were I think 20 people all gathered together for a week, and some of them have been diagnosed. Some of them probably have it, but haven't been diagnosed. The ones that have been diagnosed have mostly been treated. The ones who haven't been diagnosed mostly haven't been treated. Interesting thing is that there's a lot less consistency than I would have assumed. Like, I have one brother-in-law who, they tell horror stories about what a rotten kid he was. So hyper, so, riding his tricycle down the 2 flights of stairs, all that kind of stuff. And he has never been treated for ADHD, and somehow he managed to make it through the Air Force Academy and medical school. Is not on any medication, has never had any treatment. I'm not sure exactly how he did it. He was the one who was unable to attend, so I didn't really get to pursue that. And I have another brother-in-law who he was okay. Their father was a doctor, general practice, flight surgeon in the Air Force, had a crazy career in the Air Force, did everything, went everywhere. It was, pretty spectacular. But, of course, ADHD had not even been formally admitted to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual at the time his kids were young. So basically none of them were treated because the father thought there was something off. It was just a matter of more discipline, and then some more discipline if that didn't work. But you got one guy who really was spectacular. And then you have the other one who started saying something's wrong, and so he went and got treatment, and is on medication to this day. And he had dropped out of college. He went back to college and finished his bachelor's degree. Then he got a master's degree in counseling, and he's still in private practice. But he did it based on being treated. And then one of his daughters started saying, "Woo, I've got the same problems my dad did." So she got treatment, medication, and some counseling. And she is a nurse and has a pretty special life in a mountain state. Let's just put it that way. But then her younger sister, who was ornery, mean, rotten, and doomed to failure in life, all of a sudden is straightened up, married, good marriage. They're both crazy, so that works out. And they go everywhere and do everything, and just always in some big activity, some big trip, some big, they've got an RV and they've worn it out. She's not had any treatment. And she's in a job where she has to be persuasive and a little bit of a problem solver. And she loves it, taking off, doing great. And then we have some other folks who apparently got missed. They didn't have any obvious signs of ADHD, and they're doing okay. Okay, and we had a couple of, like in any family, when you start adding 20 or so, 30 people, there's some people, we have a couple of, well, we had at least one bipolar, and one I think is a borderline sociopath, but that's all right. No, it's not, but it's nothing I can do about it. And we had another one who's alcoholic. Now, the thing that I'm, the conclusion I make is you can make it, okay? The easiest and recommended way to make it is to get treated for it. Get some coaching or therapy and be on medication. That's the blueprint right now. And I'm sure there are other things out there that will work without needing to be on medication. But I have not seen any. There's absolutely research proof that anything, magic mushrooms or any of that other stuff work. It's just, it would be nice. I don't know why taking something you don't know where it came from, how it was grown, da 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 da. But I'm not thinking big pharma is the be all and the end all. It's just the simplest and the only one at the moment that's proven. So, but I have people who were treated and they're doing reasonably well. I had people who weren't treated, and most of them are doing reasonably well. And I look at the folks that are doing reasonably well without being treated, and I find there are two things that stand out. One is it's helpful if you have a neurologic condition like ADHD that looks behavioral. It's helpful if you're ornery and independent and don't give up. As long as you don't give up, eventually you will find your niche in society or whatever. And the deal is, though, you have to have faith in yourself. It's two things. Either you're ornery and you don't give up, or you find yourself in a situation where your strength, skill set, etc., is exactly what people are looking for. Okay, so some people are real creative. ADHDers tend to be more creative and good problem solvers and all that sort of thing. Sometimes jobs want that sort of thing, and the jobs that want your creativity, your problem solving ability, your unique way of looking at things, it's like a godsend for you. You can live up to your potential and succeed and all that other stuff. If, however, all they want you to do is fill out the paperwork correctly and put all the numbers in the right places, or those kinds of jobs, odds are you're going to have problems. Odds are you're not going to do real well with these kind of positions. So if we don't do anything else here at this time and day, we need to look at, you can compensate for ADHD, okay? I'm not going to tell you that you cannot possibly adapt and adjust without medication. I am not going to say that, but it's the easiest way. Okay, by far the easiest way to uh, adjust to ADHD. But the other thing is, you can't give up on yourself. And this I've seen this in a lot of kids. They have been corrected so much and overcorrected so much that they don't think they can do anything. Their self-esteem is really low, and they're just waiting for the other shoe to drop or to really screw up big time, or something, waiting for somebody to yell at them. You can make it as long as you don't give up on yourself. You have to be able to say, I may have a little more trouble with some things than other people do, but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to succeed in spite of whatever I was born with, or what may or may not be helpful, or what may or may not happen. I think the hardest part about being a parent is trying to, get your kids going in the right direction, but not correct them so much, or, criticize so much that they don't have any confidence in themselves. You need to know that sometimes they need to face a challenge and take it on and work through it, even if it doesn't seem like they're going to, do well at first. They have to have that time to experiment, that time to try some things out and see if they work. If they just keep waiting until they don't make any mistakes, till they're perfect, they won't do anything. Okay, and we have a bunch of that floating around right about now. And it's important for kids to be able to face challenges and figure out how to work through them themselves. Okay, you can encourage and all that stuff, but don't solve the problem for them. Okay, you got enough work to do with an ADHD kid without taking that on as well. Okay, this is a little shorter than usual, but it was one of those things this thinking was important to get out there, because the biggest problem I see for ADHD is giving up. Just thinking they can't do anything, and why try? Because it'll just get screwed up. So the biggest thing you need to do as a parent is teach them to not give up. Teach them how to keep trying, to be resilient, to try one thing. If it doesn't work, well, now I know that doesn't work. Let's try this, and so on. That's what they really need, and that's how they develop a positive self-image, and that's how they learn to survive in a society designed for neurotypicals. Okay, so I'm Dr. Terry James Gingrass. This has been Dr. G's ADHD Chat, and it's a show designed to make the world safe for ADHDers. My website's terrygingrassphd.com, and you can sign up for coaching. The first freebie session you can sign up for. We'll see if we can stand each other, and then maybe make some good things happen. There are other offers that we're working on, and I have a question, and I'd like you to answer if you have the time, or even if you don't have the time, just shoot me a line. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on podcasts, with Apple and a couple of other places. What is your biggest problem right now? What is your biggest stressor right now? What's causing you the most trouble? If you'd let me know that, I'd be glad. Love to hear from you. And I'm designing some programs. I'm doing that all the time now, and like to know if what I'm thinking about doing is what people need. So till then, till next week, we'll catch you later. Have a good one.